Okay, good afternoon, almost good evening. Hello, good evening already. Six. Good afternoon to you all.
Good afternoon. More
Mariana, Maria Angelica, Alice, Alex, open your camera if you can, just for us to see you all. If you can, of course.
Okay, we have more. Get in. That's good.
Yes.
Okay, guys. It's time to begin. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for partaking in the Propell Workshops. This workshop series is a partnership between Brasília University's International Cooperation Group, GCUB, and the Educational Testing Service, ETS. Today's session will cover proper workshop for the TOEFL iBT test, listening and speak session. I would like to start by greeting on behalf of the GCUB Board of Directors, the ETS Director, Professor Edson Canella. He is an Associate Director of ETS and Customer Relations at TOEFL GRE Brazil, acts as language teacher for over 36 years. There are 23 at FAP in São Paulo and for 12 years as a representative of ETS, TOEFL, and GRE in Brazil and some countries in Latin America, giving workshops, courses, and speaking on the TOEFL, IBT, and GRE. Now I give the floor to Mr. Edson to make the forwards and help everyone enjoy this experience.
Thank you, Andres. I'm feeling myself in the Shrine Auditorium and participating in the Oscar. Anyway, Maria Angelica, Alice, Alex, and Isaias, thank you for being here. Okay, I think we have one more. Okay, we have Gabriela. Okay, good afternoon, good evening to you all. Okay, let me just organize this in a way that I can see you all. Okay, okay. Well, in our last session, Professor Diane told you about the reading. Okay, the reading section is the, let's say, the longest one in the TOEFL iBT. Let me tell you something about me, first of all, okay? And remember, today we are going to learn how to prepare our students to take the TOEFL iBT. Not only our students, but also us, okay? I had to take the TOEFL iBT, the GRE, and the other tasks to work for ETS. And we know all the tests, they have some trickies. I always tell my students, are you gonna take the name without knowing what name is? And they say, of course not. So the same to TOEFL iBT. Even an American native speaker, if he goes to take the test without knowing the test, probably, I'm almost sure that he's gonna fail, okay? He isn't going to get a good score. Well, my slide. Okay, as Andressa said, I'm Edson Canella. I'm a professor in São Paulo for almost 37 years. Teaching is my passion, okay? Today I teach Portuguese for foreigners. I have taught in some countries all over the world, teaching Portuguese and English, but today I work with Portuguese as a second language and work also for ETS for almost 12 years, which is also my passion as well. I'm based in São Paulo, but today I'm not in São Paulo, so I think you might listen to some macaws, you can listen to some parrots, some dogs, because I'm in my house in the countryside. Okay, so sorry for that, but it's a beautiful place where you're gonna listen to different sounds besides my voice, you're gonna listen to different sounds. What else? Oh, I love languages, literature. My first graduation was in literature, and I really appreciate if you ask questions and explore the most you can explore and exploit. Let's use both verbs, explore and exploit, from what I'm here to do, okay? You have received via email and via here as well. Andressa has sent to you TOEFL to Teacher Workshop Manual, and we have the sections of Propell Manual, TOEFL reading, listening, speaking, and writing activities. This is something just like one book. Okay, you aren't going to see the book because I'm with a fake background. And then in this book, you're going to find more skills and activities, scoring guides. That it's very important. The two last pages from this file that you have received. And today we're going to specifically talk about speaking and listening. Okay. Also, we have a listening and speaking online materials for you to use with your students. Okay. I'd like you to introduce yourselves just very quickly and tell me where you're from and if you work teaching, just for us to know each other so that we can make this encounter, okay, this meeting a little bit more intimate, let's say like that. Okay. Can anybody start, please?
We'll see. I will be checking YouTube too. Go on, Alice. Oh, you're so beautiful.
Hello, Alice.
Hey.
Okay.
So my name is Alice. I'm an English teacher. I'm from Maringá in Paraná, and I currently work with undergrad students, grad students, and professors from Paraná State universities. And one of the courses I teach is a preparation course for the TOEFL exam. So that's why I'm here today.
Okay, and Alice, you feel very comfortable to ask me everything that you want to, and you have my email here on the first page, okay, canela@etsglobal.org. If you need any material, if you need any extra thing that you find it's possible, that you think it's possible that I have, okay, just let me know, okay. Maringá is that place that we have the cathedral, the beautiful cathedral, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I know Maringá. Another one. Thank you, Alice. Another one, please. Don't be shy. Come on.
How can
Hey
a teacher
guys.
be shy?
Good evening.
Hi. Good evening.
Hello.
My name is Alex. First of all, I have to say so sorry because my camera is not working.
Okay,
But
Alex, don't worry about that.
I'm speaking from São Luís do Maranhão. I don't know if you
God.
know this place.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
I know. I'm gonna tell you. I know not only São Luís, but I also know it's not Leopoldina. It's something like that. Imperatriz.
Imperatriz, yes.
Yes, I went to WEMA to deliver a workshop, a Propell workshop, and I went to Federal from UFMA and WEMA. So I know your state and your city, beautiful city. And the Litorânea as well, okay? I know the Litorânea as well.
Yes, Litorânea's beach.
Yes.
Yes. I'm a student from UFMA, Universidade Federal do Maranhão. I love this university. I'm almost finishing my graduation. I'm the last period. Finally got for that. I'm so happy to stay here, and because this is very important for me. And I've been teaching English since 2017 and still teaching. I love doing these, and I'm here to learn a lot with you. Thank you so much, guys, for this opportunity.
Okay, thank you. In fact, we are going to exchange. We are going to learn from both each other, okay? You said something very important to me. I always start, and Andressa knows me a little bit. saying that I have the profession that I want to. I could be anything. I could be a doctor. I could be an engineer and lawyer. But I chose teaching. Okay, and I'm a teacher for almost 37 years. And you know, if I was given the chance to choose again, I would be a teacher again, okay? Of course, I'm going to retire in a couple of years, I think in 2 years, but I will continue teaching and working because we have the best profession in the world, in my opinion, okay? Next one, please.
Don't be shy.
I'm gonna ask somebody, so if you don't speak by yourself. Gabriela.
Hello.
Hello. You
Hello.
were the day before yesterday, yes, Gabriela?
No.
No? I thought
My
I had
name is
seen you.
Gabriela. I'm from Nova Friburgo. I'm a professor of Fluminense Federal University, dental school university course.
Wow.
My level is intermediate in English, but I would like to study more English to apply for a postdoctorate. And I hope to see your presentations and improve my language. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really good.
Okay. Please, another one. Isaías, can you say where you're from? Say something to us, please.
They're on and out. Maybe the connection is failing.
Yes, something is fading. Who else?
Let's see. We have some.
Oh yeah, it's funny because we have a lot of people in and out.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have some from YouTube. Gabriela from UFF. We have Vilma, Maria.
Okay. So you at the YouTube, okay, thank you for being here with us, okay? And please also ask questions, yeah? The difference is that you didn't receive probably the material, but if you are at the YouTube, you could ask the material to Andressa, and Andressa would send the file to you so that you can see, read, and learn a little bit more about TOEFL, okay?
All right.
Well, today we're going to have the listen and speaking session. So we're going to stay here around up to 8. Probably we're going to finish a little bit earlier, okay? Why, Edson? Because we have a few people. This was directed for more people, but I do understand that professors at this level of the year, at this part of the year, is a little bit let's say, working a lot, correcting tests and so on. So maybe the audience won't be the audience that we would like to have. Anyway, we're going to do the same thing, everything, just like as if we had 30 people. In these 2 sessions, we will explain the use of the scoring guide for speaking to score real test taker responses. This is very important, okay? You have a guide, you have a page that the raters, the correctors at ETS use to correct the responses from the speaking section. And, you know, with this rubrics, we call them rubrics, it's very, very interesting for you to know your level or the level of your response. So we are going to identify classroom learning objectives for each skill, demonstrate classroom activities for the TOEFL iBT test, and share ideas for classroom activities and the lesson plan using learning objectives. Of course, since we are working via internet, let's say, it's not the way that we could do if we were face-to-face, if we were on a meeting face-to-face, okay? But we are planning somehow to have a kind of, let's say, conference with everybody together, and hopefully we're gonna get this. I'm gonna use just 5 minutes, I promise you, to tell you something about the GCUB and something about the TOEFL test, okay? The first thing, GCUB, okay, has almost 100 affiliated institutions, and GCUB is a top client from TOEFL, from ETS, and if you buy your test at GCUB, you have discounts. Okay? Instead of $215, you are gonna pay $182.75. This is a very good discount because we're talking about dollars. Okay, there is a huge difference between 215 and 182 dollars. So for this month, you have the registrations up to December 31st. Okay, if you're going to take the TOEFL test, buy your voucher at GCUB, 15% of discount. Also,
tô com medo.
You are afraid
Eu não
of
gosto de
what?
falar inglês num lugar onde todo mundo é fluente em inglês.
Oh, come on! You speak the language you want to. I'm not. Don't worry about that. Speak the language that you want. Okay? Don't worry about that. The most important is that you understand me. If you want, I can speak some Chinese if it's easier. Don't worry about that. Please, 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 please. We are among friends. Don't be afraid. And it's a very good chance for you to train your English, okay? If we are afraid of speaking English, we won't never speak. Don't worry about that. So this is an opportunity that you have. Also, if you buy a voucher, you have 1 year to use. Yeah. And it doesn't make any difference if the price raised because you aren't going to pay anything extra. Okay, this is the first one. And the second one is the overview of the test. Okay, to take the TOEFL iBT, you know, you have to have an intermediate level of English. And when you go there, if you take it home, you have to download, okay, the app so that you make your readiness check. This is vital. It's very important that you do the readiness check because on the day of the test, if you didn't do the readiness check, probably your computer won't work. So if you are going to take the test at home, that we call a TOEFL Home Edition, please download ETS browser. Okay, if you're going to take the test at a test center, you don't have to do anything. Just go and take the test. At a test center, they are going to make tests with your voice, take a photo of you, see your documentation. Please, when you are registering for the test, pay lots of attention to your birth date. It's month, day, year. And if you put day, month, and year, it's gonna be a problem to us to correct that. So this is very important. And if we don't pay attention, if you don't pay attention on that, and your results, your scores come with this type of date, birth date, probably the university won't accept your test. So pay attention to the birth date. When you start the test, you have 4 sections: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Okay. In the past, up to 2019, the test was 3 hours and 40 minutes, 3 hours and a half. Now the test is 3 hours. Okay, you have up to 72 minutes of reading. Up to, it doesn't mean that is 72. You have listening up to 57, and I have to tell you, if you take 72 minutes in the reading, probably you're going to take 41 in the listening, because it's a type of randomizer, the questions, so that you stay there the same time, just like as all the others. And then in the middle, you have a break time. Please. You can't stay at the chair, you can't stay at your workstation. leave the workstation and go to the bathroom, drink some water. This is vital. If you don't do that when you are writing, when you are typing, the very last section of the test, you are gonna feel as if you were going to explode because all the water that you drank at the beginning of the test, okay, will tell you that it wants to leave your body and you are writing. So take your time during the break time to go to the bathroom. After that, you're going to have the speaking section, and that it's just 17 minutes, no people talking to you, just the computer, no people looking at you, okay, observing you. And then the last one, 2 pieces of writing. Today, specifically, we are going to talk about listening and speaking, and how you can prepare yourself and prepare your students for the TOEFL. The listening section. Well, in the listening section, we have types and types of, let's say, ways, okay, of background. Why we have to know, why we have to listen well. We listen for academic purposes, and basically, we have to listen to get basic comprehension, pragmatic understanding, connect and synthesize information. This last one is very important, really very important, because with this last one, we're going to make the inferences and many other things. So keep in mind that your students must understand so that they can connect and synthesize information for the test and when they are at the university. So the listening test items were developed to draw on types of listening activities that actually occur in real life. It's not fake, it's real life. They are designed to be relevant across, let's say, disciplines and levels of education. A lecture given might be representative of a science class, a history class, an art class, or a class in one of the several subjects, several disciplines that you have. So it's really academic. It's really a type of real life, academic real life. To make the term service encounters more clear, because probably we're gonna see these, okay, in one of the topics. Service encounters, it is, for example, the librarian and the student and the guard. So you have this type of interaction in the test. Also, conversations, let's say types of listening stimuli. Conversations, discussions with the professors, service encounters that I just explained to you, okay, just like a librarian giving information of how to use a reference tool, a reference material. Another one for you, a reg explaining procedures, a friendly student advisor giving information advice, a laboratory or teaching assistant in explaining. These types are service encounters, and you are going to have this in the test. And lectures that can be monologue and interactive. Okay. After the types of the listening stimuli, if you have any question, please type your question, and Andressa will interrupt me and ask the question. If you don't want to type your question, you can interrupt me, okay? Don't worry about that, and ask your question. After that, hello? Okay, let's go to the TOEFL iBT listening section. What do we have? Andressa, we have a microphone that it's open. If you can close it, because I think that the student didn't observe that. And then what we're going to find in the listening section? Well, first of all, academic lectures. 3 to 4, Victor 3 to 4 lectures with some closed discussion. They are approximately 5 minutes long. Pay attention, 5 minutes is a lot. Imagine speaking 5 minutes in another language. So you have to prepare your student for these 5 minutes. Begin with 1 minute, then 2 minutes. Try to take excerpts from movies, from all the places that you can. And then use the Propell workshop material. Okay, train your students and then use all the material that you have at in ETS website to train your students. They will get wonderful grades. Each lecture is followed by 6 questions. So 3 to 4 lectures, 5 minutes long, approximately 15 or 20 minutes. Each lecture followed by 6 questions. Okay, and then you have other type of listening stimuli that we call informal campus conversations. Okay, and for the informal campus conversation, you're gonna have 2 to 3 pieces of conversation, approximately 3 minutes long. This one is a little bit softer. Each conversation is followed by 5 questions. All questions are worth 1 point. Remember that the day before yesterday, Professor Atiana told you about the reading, and in the reading section, you have questions with 1 point that scoring worth 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. Listening, okay, the listening you are gonna get 1 point for each question. Well, saying that, I'm going to ask you if you have the booklet with you. If you have the booklet with you, okay, I would like you to give take a look on pages 25 and 29. Okay, but we have so few people that I don't think, Andres, we should split them into breakout rooms, because we have so few people today that I don't think we should.
We could put them in one breakout room, or just let them here.
I think we are gonna let them here. Okay, I think we're gonna let them here. And I'm going to skip this activity, but I would like you to have your teachers, your workshop material open, because we're going to use it, and it's very important. Okay, for example,
check your email or the chat.
Email or the chat, because for example, Alice is going to use this to with her students. It will be really important. Okay, and then the others we also use. So it's really important that you have the material open. Okay, let's have a listening, simple listening activity. Okay, activity 5, activity books, page 77. Can you find that? The book, the file that you received, it contains activity based on TOEFL, on the TOEFL iBT learning objectives. Okay, so this would be very good for you to learn the instructional circle that starts a pre-task. Alice, for sure, does that. Also, there are both instructions for the professor, for the teacher, and for the student. The activity book you received in the file is very, very important. Okay, and all the activities they have the learning objectives. They drive the learning objectives, drive all the activities. Let's listen to this piece of information, and then I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Listen to part.
Edson, Alice Stenzel is asking, should we take notes during the listening now?
Alice, a very good question, okay? No, you don't need, but this question is very good. You tell your students that they must take notes. And I can give you some tips later if you want on how to teach them somehow how to take notes. When you're going to take, because we have the dentistry professor here, and she said that she wants to take the test, okay? When you're going to take the test, you yourself, keep in mind that you have to take notes. If we were, let's say, with more people in breakout rooms, I would ask you to take notes, okay? I would ask you to take notes. However, right now, we don't need, because this is a type of informal conversation that we are having. And your question is very good because it gives me the chance to tell you, make your students for sure take notes. Teach them how to take notes, because some of them think that taking notes is to write everything, and nobody here is an stenographer, okay? We are not a stenographer, so they have to take notes of all important pieces of information. You don't need, okay?
Part of a conversation in a library.
Hi, can I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking for a reference book.
Okay. Do you know the title?
Well, that's the thing.
The sound is good, Andressa?
Perfect, Mr. Edson.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for. I need information on European demographics.
Okay. Do you just need population statistics like total population, male, female, real basics for demographics?
Yeah, population, literacy rate, let's see, life expectancy by gender, like if women tend to live longer than men, things like that.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure you get most, if not all, of those statistics from an atlas. I can tell you where to find one in the reference section.
Yeah, but I'm kind of looking for it by city, not by country in the atlas I saw.
Uh-huh. I see.
Well, do you know if there are any other reference books I can use for this to find the statistics by city?
City, you say. Any particular part of Europe? Eastern, Western, Southern?
No, pretty much all across Europe.
All of Europe. You know, maybe you could tell me what this is for. I mean, maybe if I know, I can help you better.
Yeah, okay. Geography with Professor Miller, and it's sort of an analysis of urban areas, a comparison of population trends and economic indicators, social indicators, I guess.
Okay, well, there's something called the Demographic Yearbook, but I don't think it's going to do it by city.
Yeah, I think that's just by country.
You've already looked at it? I think you're right, but I'm just going to check it first, because it would be easy if it were there. Yeah, population by country. Okay, let's see. Did your professor give you any ideas on where to look? I mean, because if you need the demographic information by city...
No, she didn't. She just gave us the assignment, and I figured I could find what I needed here without too much of a problem.
Yeah, it should be easier than this. I mean, I know there's one for North American cities, but I don't think that'll be a big help.
Nah.
Tell you what, let's go over to the reference section. Let's take a look around that area and see if anything looks promising.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Okay.
Okay or not? Okay or not?
Okay.
You just
That's okay.
you see, the voice is very clear, okay? The voice is very clear. So don't be afraid of that. they have a type of the model voices so that everybody can understand. They don't speak with a very strong accent. You're going to find people from the United States, from Australia, New Zealand, UK, people from all speaking English-speaking countries, okay, as native language. And their voices are very clear. And you saw there are lots of, I don't think this is very important that you tell your students to pay attention, because it might have a question, does she know exactly the book? Does she know exactly where to find it? Does she have the book? Which what's the name of the professor or something like that? These are the pieces of information that you should take notes, so that you should tell your students to take notes, okay? Well, oops, my God, it's totally out of control. Okay, then the activity book, you have one activity that I'm gonna tell you later to do, okay? That it's a scan the activity book and then talk with a partner. We won't have this type of interaction, unfortunately, here, because I don't know if everybody has the activity book right now, okay? And you should choose one activity to look at in depth. This activity, specifically this one, okay, 5 and 6, will help you with your students. It will give you a model of things that you can do with your students. And all the book, all the material that you have in the book, they have the objectives for you to teach that. I usually use in the past, because today I don't teach TOEFL prep for students anymore, just for professors. But you know, in the past I usually had a very interesting listening activity with my students. I started the listening. Well, first of all, a TOEFL test, you can listen just once. But start permitting your student to listen at least 3 times. And then after 1 month, 2 times. And then on the 3rd month, because you don't need more than 3 months to prepare for the TOEFL test, okay? I think 2 months is enough, but most of the courses, they have 3 months. And the last month, just once, no more chances, because he won't have a second chance to hear the dialogue, to listen to the dialogue again. And I usually took small pieces of excerpts of information from newspapers and from you know, news, and ask one student to record that in his mobile, and another student to record other piece of other excerpt of text in his mobile, and then they exchanged mobiles, and they tried to understand what his friend was speaking, okay? And it was very funny, because after listening to that, they usually asked me, but teacher, this word, do I pronounce this word this way or that way? And it's a very good, also a very good chance for you to tell your students that pronunciation is important, but he has to speak a clear English. He doesn't have to have a British accent or American accent or whatever, okay? He just has to speak clear understandable English. I work for TOEFL iBT, and I'm from Brazil, and my English has accent, and no problem, okay? Just speak clear English. And when we tell our students that, they are not afraid of speaking, because speaking is the old road. Speaking is the bicho-papão of Brazilians. And unfortunately, it shouldn't be, because speaking is the easiest section, is the easiest skill of English. The most difficult is listening, okay? And I always tell my students, you think speaking is difficult, it's not. So we have some activities in the booklet you received, in the file that you received, that you can choose to give, explain, and train your students, okay?
Okay, Mr. Edson, we have a question from
Okay,
Alice again.
thank you.
She's
From-
saying, Alice and Stenzel,
Okay, Alice.
Alice Stenzel. She is asking, are the recordings available or just the manual? My students were very surprised with the sample responses. I showed them that we scored 5. They felt such more comfortable after that because they realized they don't have to be perfect. She wants to know where we can find the records.
Okay, Alice, we have all the recordings for the materials, okay? Andressa, please, you have the email of those attendees, all of them?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay,
Adriana sent me.
so,
I will.
yes,
take
okay, please take note of their emails, and when we finish, I'm gonna prepare a list of links, and tomorrow you send to all of them, please. This is very important, because of the book without the recordings is just like a pigeon without its wings, okay?
Yeah.
They need the recordings. Usually, Alice, in the past, we had 2 CDs with the book when it was face-to-face, okay? But today, we had to skip and change the material, but don't worry, we have in the website the link for all the recordings, okay? And tomorrow, Andressa will send the links to you all. About your students, she said something about her students. From the speaking section, the rubrics, you are going to evaluate your students from 0 to 4, okay? And 1 is 0 is the lowest one, okay? But nobody's going to get 0 unless the person doesn't speak anything. And 4 is the highest. And this will be converted into a table from 0 to 30. TOEFL iBT maximum score is 120, and each section worth from 0 to 30, okay? So if your student is scored 4, he can be 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, there is a range of variation from number to number. I would like to know if you have any question, if it's okay.
Not at the moment. Even in
Not at the
YouTube.
moment. Okay, even in YouTube. Okay. Let's go to the bicho-papão, according to some people. I don't think it is, but I really respect. And also, something that I always like to tell. When we, not you, we deal with TOEFL iBT, we deal with dreams. All the persons, all the people that will take TOEFL iBT, they dream of going abroad. They dream of studying abroad. They dream of taking a doctor a PhD degree in Brazil, outside Brazil, but we deal with dreams. This is very important. Nobody would take the TOEFL just for fun, because it's not funny, and it is expensive. So we have to be very careful with them. Since we are dealing with their dreams, and I respect this a lot, because when I was very young, I dreamed of going abroad to study, and of course I didn't do that like good until no money, impossible, large family, big family, too many brothers, and so on and so forth. Okay, but the revenge was that I sent my daughter to 4 exchange programs, and the last one 4 exchange programs, and the last one was in Germany, and she's there until today. And she called me, and Daddy, I want to come back. Is that okay? Okay, it's okay. And now she lives there, she works there, she's also at a university. Okay, we're working for a university, so we deal with dreams. This is very important. Take lots of attention to these students, because you are going to be a very important part in their lives, for sure. I have students that today they are doctors, they are business administrators, they are politicians. Okay, they are politicians, and all of them, okay, all of them have contact with me. I have a list of former students, of almost 5,000 former students that we still have contact. And this is very, very good. Okay, this is something with no words to explain. That's why being a professor, being a teacher is such a valuable profession, such a good thing. Okay. Speaking. Well, the speaking section, let me see, because my slides, they have their own wish. Test takers respond to 4 tasks. Okay, 1 independent task about familiar topics. The responses are based on personal experience. I find this one a little bit easier. And then your students will respond to 3 integrated tasks: 2 reading, listening, speaking tasks, 1 academic, 1 campus-based, and 1 listening, speaking task, academic. Responses are based on what was read and heard. And the total time is 17 minutes, okay? They have 17 minutes for that. Well, since we are gonna talk about the speaking portion, okay, we are gonna have the scoring rubric cards. And then, if you look on the booklet, they are the 2 final pages, okay, in the appendix. You have the independent speaking rubrics and the integrated speaking rubrics. I'm gonna talk about them just a little, okay? They are exactly this one that you have on the screen now. You have this in your booklet, in this file that Andressa sent to you via email and via chat as well. And the holistic score, human raters, people, okay, human raters, use them to evaluate topic development, delivery, and language use. Edson, sorry, I didn't understand. I'm gonna give more details. For example, these scores, okay, those rubrics are holistic, which means that the level of performance is determined by assessing the performance across multiple criteria as a whole. It is not just on a point. You said, and did you like it? And then you say, oh, I said with a very strong accent, the ending I, and so on. No, it isn't picky. Okay, it isn't analyze your speaking in a picky way. It is analyzed across multiple criteria as a whole. This is in contrast to an analytic rubric, which articulates the level of performance for each criterion. Okay, so it's holistic. In this table, in these rubrics, the general description is holistic description of the 4 score levels bands. For top development, the raters are not haters, okay? Raters, they are the people who will analyze your answers and give you a score. They will look at whether the test taker has addressed the task. If he didn't ask you about the whales and then you responded to him about dogs. Okay, digressions. We call these digressions. Whether they have demonstrated an understanding of the material and made appropriate connections between the content and conveying relevant information. For delivery, that is the second, okay? You can't see my table, but you have the table on the screen, okay? The second one, that it's the delivery of language. Raters consider whether the response is clear and fluid, and whether the delivery is sustained throughout the response for overall intelligibility. Lastly, they will consider language use. If you use language appropriately, which includes accuracy, grammar, and vocabulary usage, okay? Of course, if you say she speaks 3 times, and if you say she speak one time, as a holistic evaluation, this isn't going to take lots from your score. Okay, it's a mistake. Yes, it's a mistake. But you said that thing 3 times correctly and just once wrong. Okay, so specifically this rubrics, this chart is very important that you show your student so that he knows what's an answer, sorry, a response level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Maybe your student will give you a response level 2. And then you have conditions to make him to improve this response up to level 3. Giving him some tips, giving him some vocabulary, and telling him how to articulate the language better. And it's possible. Of course, it's not possible from level 2, you reach level 4. There is a range of variation and a little bit too large. But from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4, it's totally possible, okay? I would like you, if you have the booklet with you, okay, that you open and leave this rubrics, this chart near you, because I'm gonna ask you to analyze 2 types of responses that we are gonna have in this section, okay? So just to anticipate, try to keep this page, the integrated and the independent speaking rubrics, easy to access, okay? Any question about this? I spoke a lot with this.
I will check YouTube for you. Not at the moment, not in YouTube.
Okay.
They are shy here too.
Okay, no problem. The next part, okay, is something important that I have to tell you, because lots of people, they ask me, oh, human people, human raters, okay, if it's human, is people. Human people or raters, they analyze or only machines? Both. Okay. All speaking responses, they are. I don't know what happens sometimes to the computer. Andressa, we have a Johan trying to enter. Thank you. All speaking responses are rated by both a human rater and a speech rater scoring service. And this is very interesting because it combines the strengths of a machine and a human scoring. Human raters, they evaluate content, meaning, and language in a holistic manner, as I told you already. And the automated scoring will observe that example I gave you, okay? Exactly that example that I gave you. We will evaluate linguistic features in an analytic manner, okay? Also, for the writing section that Professor Adiani will tell you ahead, we also have machine and human altogether, okay? So rubrics, scores, human scores are combined with machine scores. Human scores and machine scores are optimally weighted to produce raw scores. These raw scores, okay, that you get from 1 to 4 will be converted to a scale from 0 to 30. That's it. That's the way they will correct your responses from the speaking section. Now let me ask, who knows what a benchmark is? Can someone tell me what a benchmark is? Please. Nobody. Okay, don't be shy, but if you don't know, I'm here to explain. Okay. We use this word a lot when we deliver some workshops and activities to our audience. A benchmark, the best definition of benchmark is a point of reference, okay, from which measurements may be made. A model, Edson, a type of, okay, a type of. So the benchmarks for raters provide a point of reference for making their rating decisions of speaking responses. Edson, too much information. No. They receive models of responses for level 1, for level 2, for level 3, for level 4, and those are the models. Okay, so a typical model 1. Score 1 response is that type. Response is that type. And then they have that benchmark that it's somehow a model. There are other responses we will play later today that demonstrate slightly more proficiency or slightly less proficiency that would be rated in the same score band. For example, they can rate me 3, and then the other one can rate me 4. But it's very difficult that someone says you are 2, the other one 3, the other one 4. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something about that later so that you can tell your students how their responses will be evaluated at the ETS. Raters, they are required to listen to benchmark responses before beginning of every scoring session. Before they start scoring, they are obliged to listen to all the benchmarks. Okay, every time they move from one response to another one, they have to listen the benchmark, and they call this calibrate the person. Okay, they calibrate the rater so that this person is very aware of those types of responses. Okay. Any question about what a benchmark is? So we can define a benchmark as a model, okay, as a point of reference. Now we are going to do something very, very good. That is listen to 4 benchmarks for speaking task 2, independent speaking. Okay, that one that you have just one. The independent speaking, you have 1 task. So you're going to listen to 4 benchmarks for this response.
Some universities require first-year students to live in dormitories on campus. Others allow students to live off campus. Which policy do you think is better for first-year students and why? Include details and examples in your explanation.
Okay, so you have preparation time in 15 seconds and response time 45 seconds. I'm not going to waste too much time on this because you have this type of information in your booklet. Okay, when you tell your student to prepare his response, it doesn't mean that he's going to write a response in 15 seconds. Okay, it's impossible, but he can write words that will make him remember what he wants to say. And those words can be a point of reference to bring into his mind what he wants to speak, and how he's going to articulate his answer. We have 4 benchmarks. Okay.
Okay, I have a question by myself. I don't know if it can fit my shoes, but stuttering can interfere in the note, in the level of the benchmark. Stutter, like pop, like this.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Gaguejando, stuttering.
Okay. Let's say if this is a physical problem, okay, you have the disabilities to report before taking your test. Okay, when you need special levels of necessities, disabilities, you should tell TOEFL. For example, if you have problems with vision, okay, and you need screen magnification, they can provide. If you need a little bit more time to answer because you have the dyslexia, they can provide. So if you have a hard level of any special needs, I think you should contact. Because one of the points that will cut some points from your speaking section is if you respond to a question with a type of chopped conversation, just like I think that living in the dormitory, this type of chopped, you know the verb to chop, for example, cucumber, you chop, you would call this a chopped conversation. This is something that it's will take out some points of yours. So we have a special link for you to register if you think this could be a problem for you. Okay. Andressa, please take also his email so that I can give him the right information, the right link if he needs. Okay. When as we are doing this type of job, okay, they really need the direct information, because sometimes, of course, Google is a mother, but sometimes a little bit difficult, and we don't know where to find. I have this in my computer very easily. Okay, please. As I was, Gabriela, you can say, please.
Excuse me, I would like to do a question. Do you recommend some book for we prepare alone to do this test?
Of course, I can recommend you lots of them, but we have, okay, a platform EDX, a TOEFL prep course. Okay, I think it's 8-week or 6-week TOEFL prep course. Let me write for you all in the chat. I don't remember exactly. Everyone in the meeting. It's TOEFL. It's better than a book, okay? And TOEFL prep course. Platform is EDX. If you write this onto the Google, okay, for sure it will direct you to there. Now, if you want a book, you can go to www.ets.org, and then inside this one you look for prep materials. Okay, you have free materials and you have paid materials. I really recommend you to download the free materials first, and then if you feel the necessity of buying some material, you can buy. Also, we have Gabriela, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Another thing, Gabriela, call it TPO. I love it. Okay, TPO is test practice online. It's a voucher, Gabriela, that you buy. And if you buy the voucher and the book, it's a little bit less expensive. It's cheaper. And this voucher will give you a complete TOEFL test for you to do in your computer just once. It's real situation. It's just like the real situation. And you're going to download the test. You're going to have the break time. You're going to have the same time. Okay. Everything will be very realistic. And then they will give you a score. This is an automated score, but it is very similar to the real score. These are the best materials, in my opinion.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, welcome. But first of all, free materials, because they are good. And this prep course at EDX. And if you're going to buy something, I recommend you to buy TPO. I like this a lot. I use it a lot with my students, okay? When they bought the course at the university where I worked, we had the price of TPO included, so that everybody took one. And for example, if they got 80 in the TPO, they usually got 78, 79, 81, 82 in the real TOEFL. So it's very similar. Any other question? No? So let's go to this specific slide. We are going to have 4 benchmarks here, okay? 4. They are models so that they can analyze the responses. When the raters will analyze the responses, they receive something like this, and they have to listen to benchmarks like this, okay? Again, these are benchmarks for independent speaking. That is that portion of speaking that you say something personal, okay, about one personal experience. Okay, let's go to benchmark independent speaking annotation. So provide a narrative description of the level, page 36 manual. If you have it, you can take a look. Each score represents a range of ability. Okay, so level 1 up to 10, for example. Level 2 up to 15. Level 3 up to 25, 24. I'm not very sure about this, okay? But just to give you what is a range of ability. Level 4.
I think it's better for the first year students to live on campus rather than off campus. Main reason because they are new to the city and it's safer for them to live on campus where there's more security because they don't know much about the city in the first place. Second of all, it helps them to become more familiar with their surroundings where they have to study. It also helps them to meet new people. Living in a dorm encourages friendships with people who you might not seem very comfortable with the first time. And it helps you meet new people. It helps you to interact with your seniors, if any, living in your dorm.
So I played, okay, level 4 response. You know, sound quality in this room is not representative of what the raters will hear. So the thing that the listening, the sound quality that we are listening here, because of this example was taken from a real TOEFL, okay? It's not representative of what the raters will hear, okay? Because they have very powerful headphones, okay? They wear headphones. So this is a level 4 response, a typical level 4 response, a model for one of the best types of response that we can hear. If we were in more people, I would like you to talk to your partner and use the language from the rubric to know exactly why this is a type level 4. Anyway, I'm just telling you so that you can observe, because in level 3 you're gonna see, wow, but it looks more fluent than level 4. But the intonation, the ability, and the range of vocabulary, the accuracy is a little bit different. Let's go to level 3.
I think the better policy is to make students live in the dorm, because the first year student live in the dorm, because I think it's safer first, because most of them come from other town, so they don't really know their environment, so I think it's safer. Moreover, I think they can make friends in the dorm, so they can have good relationship to know how the universities is going. I mean, they know better their environment, especially if they don't have cars.
You know, he speaks very well, but level 4 uses lots of connecting words, and he says because of the time. He doesn't vary the conjunctions a lot. He explained it very well, but his ability of using the language is a little bit lower. Pay attention to level 2.
The policy of students to live in dormitories on campus is better according to me, because it gives them time to know about the city, and it is more easy for them to live in dormitories on campus they don't face much problems. Moreover, it gives them times to find
you know, lots of chopped conversation, long pauses. Her score won't be good for sure. Okay, very long pauses, lots of chopped conversation. Let me tell you, this is a very good thing for you to use with your students. Okay, you can play, and then you make them analyze using the rubrics. Okay, using the charts that you have in your booklet. And finally, level 1. Sorry.
I think the dormitories the students lives in dormitories very close to each other, students, so they familiar to each other, so proceed students' relationship and communication, so very familiar. Cause good job for students.
She tries, but she doesn't answer the question. Okay, if you pay lots of attention and you want to understand what she's saying, or you want to connect what she's trying to say, okay? So lack of information, lack of fluency, okay, no connecting and synthesizing ideas, okay, no coherence, no cohesion. This is the worst answer that can be given, okay?
Okay.
Now,
Mr. Edson, when I was a teacher, I could notice they are trying to translate instead of thinking in English. And that's one of the biggest problems to form a phrase, I guess. What do you think?
Yes, it is. But at the beginning, okay, that's why she's level 1. In fact, a person like her isn't prepared to take the TOEFL test, but because she doesn't speak English yet at all, she doesn't. When you are at the beginning of a course, or when you are starting studying English, you're going to translate. This is something automatic, because you're going to use your native language as a support. You don't know the word, so you look for the word in your native language, and then you try to translate. And sometimes you don't find the coherence, or the exact word, and you try to explain, and so on and so forth. This is very uncommon. However, if you are on this level, you're not able to take the TOEFL. TOEFL is from B1 higher to B2 level, okay, according to the Common European Framework of Reference for Language. That goes from A1 to C2, okay, sorry. A1, A2 is the starters, B1 pre-intermediate, B2 intermediate and high intermediate, C1, okay, advanced, C2 advanced. So if you are level A, A1 or A2, it's not a good thing for you to take the TOEFL, not the TOEFL iBT. Maybe the TOEFL IGT or the TOEFL primary or something like that. But TOEFL iBT is a proficiency test. It's a high-level test. Okay, she's trying to translate. It is very clear this, but because she doesn't have the level. Okay, after 500 hours, 400 hours studying English. Okay, you won't translate anymore. you want translating more. And a very good exercise for you to speak and listen and read everything together is to watch movies with the subtitles in English, because you're going to make the correlation between what he's saying, she's saying, he's saying, and the thing that you are reading, you are listening, you are reading, and at the same time you are repeating everything unconsciously. And this is a very good exercise. Okay, whenever I'm gonna watch a movie, no, if the movie is in English, dubbed movie, no way. And there are subtitles. Yes, I love subtitles in English because we learn a lot of words. And sometimes we're speaking and you say the word and you think, where did I learn this word? And you have no idea, but you simply know the word because you heard somewhere, somehow. So you have to look for things that make you think in English. But if you are a beginner, you just need a good professor, a good teacher that tells you, that commands you, that directs you to good activities so that you can learn in a better way. Now, if you're going to learn English in another country, you have no opportunity of thinking in another language because everybody there is going to speak that language and you're going to be used to that language much easier. Okay, but learning English, for example, in Brazil, that's what's happening to most of the people, including me, okay, is a little bit harder because it's going to take a little bit more time for you to learn. Well, no, we have a simple independent speaking responses, and now it's your time, okay? I'm going to ask Gabriela, I'm going to ask Alex, Victor, Johan, and Paulina to tell me if it's level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and that's it. Okay. Test taker number 1.
It's better if at the first year the students live in dormitories and on campus because it's very difficult the kind of adaptation they have to suffer because it's the first year and their first experience and the place, so they need help to recognize the location. They need time to live all those aspects of the new school, to have more friends, and because the first year is the more difficult because of adaptation, they need to be more closely relations.
Okay. Who will try to guess? Test taker number 1. The speaker's delivery is very good, yes, so she's able to sustain the speech at a mostly consistent pace. She speaks in a very good pace, while interference from the speaker's first language is evident in her speech. We can observe the interference of her native language, okay, her first language. Let's go again.
It's better if at the first year the students live in dormitories and on campus because it's very difficult the kind of adaptation they have to suffer because it's the first year and their first experience and the place, so they need help to recognize the location. They need time to live all those aspects of the new school, to have more friends, and because the first year is the more difficult because of adaptation, they need to be more closely relations.
Yes. She makes some inversions that we don't have in English, okay? And the interference of her first language is really evident. But she speaks very well, okay? And tell me, do you think she's a level 1, 2, 3, or 4? Somebody, please.
I think she is number 2. And the
2.
first one, 2. And the first one, number 3.
Oh, no, I played just once.
Just once?
I played just,
okay.
yes, I played just test taker number 1.
Okay.
I repeated.
Just number 2, level 2. Is that good? Is that good to repeat the question in the answer? Because almost then I'm repeating the answer, the question in the
question
answer.
in the answer.
Yeah.
People have already asked me that. I don't think it's a good idea, but you can paraphrase. You can paraphrase that. It's more intelligent. Edson, what's paraphrase? You say the same thing by using other words. Okay, you say the same thing using other words. So for example, do you think that living in the dormitories are better? Do you think that living in the dormitories is better than living outside the campus? Then you can say, well, when living in the dormitories, we can do this. On the other hand, outside the dormitories, you say the same. You said the same thing using other inversions, other words. Okay, this is the best thing to do, because repeating the question is usually very common, very ordinary. Okay, so Gabriela said the test taken number 1 is level 2. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
From YouTube, you have guests saying the test taker number 1 is level 3.
Level 3. Okay,
oh my
thank
God,
you.
it's level 3 too. I'm
okay,
sorry.
thank you, Isaias. Thank you. And the YouTube, Isaias, Gabriela, and the Oscar goes to YouTube and Isaias. Okay, Gabriela is level 3. Okay, is level 3 because you can understand everything. No lots of interruptions. She doesn't have a chopped conversation, as I told you at the beginning. Let's go to test taker number 2.
I think the first year students should live on campus. That is because in the first year of especially the first semester, they will have a heavy load of subjects they have to follow, and that means that they have to be able to be on time in campus. And also the first year of campus life needs them to be familiarized with buildings, with the surroundings, with the environment of the campus itself. So more times in campus will help them to do that. And also, you have to have lots of friends to be able to make yourself at home in the campus. At least this is the home for you for the next 4 years. So it's important to socialize.
Okay, level 1, 2, 3, or 4?
4.
4, okay. If test taker number 1, we said it's level 3, test taker number 2 is 4, okay, really 4. She speaks very good, very fluently, and she keeps the pace, she maintains the pace throughout the response with little noticeable hesitancy. Very few mistakes, for example, in the campus, instead of on the campus or on campus. And her errors are generally minor and do not pose a problem to the listener. It doesn't, her errors don't interfere on what we can understand. So it's level 4. Let's go to level to number 3.
Most of us.
Oh, sorry. I hate when this happens, but okay.
Most of students live live off campus, but like me, is to need to require to live in dormitories. Example, a theologian and like this, especially lives in dormitories on campus. They can each with pray and sing and worship, and the relationship is very.
Okay, we have test taker number, sorry, 3. And I would like you to give me your opinion. 2 or 1? 1 or 2?
One.
Wow, that's it. That's it. And now you will have the chance to combine this one with the last one that obviously will be, we know the answer already.
I think living in dormitories is better for first-year students because in the first year, students may have troubles in doing and studying and living in schools and
You know, this is a response level 2, but I think it's very similar to number 3. Although her pronunciation is generally clear, this candidate has difficulty to, she has a type of difficulty to choose the words and forming sentences. And the other one, the response is very limited, extremely limited. Okay, so maybe no. For this reason, one gets level 1 and the other one level 2. And I'm gonna tell Paulo, Johan, or Johan, they are answering there as well at the internet, okay, and they are scoring everything very well because they're getting all of them correctly. Thank you for your participation. Okay, this is very important for all those people that will take the TOEFL. And this is something that I like a lot to do. Well, you know, it's not difficult to score. It's not difficult if you have the rubrics, okay? If you have this page at the end of the booklet that you received, you're going to score very easily. You can work with your students very easily. Well, you won't have problems. And then now we have another type of question, okay, that it's the fit and explain question, and this one is the integrated one. A reading, listening, speaking campus situation consists of a short reading, a conversation, and a single question. This is also the second part of speaking. Remember, you have one task that is independent, and 3 other ones integrated. The test takers read one paragraph of a proposal or an announcement from a camp source, such as a newspaper, website, an email. The test taker hears a conversation between 2 students about the same reading, about the reading, and the same thing, same topic. One will state his or her opinion. Test taker is asked to briefly summarize. Okay, you have to tell something about both the reading and to state the student's opinion and reasons for that question. This one you have a prep time 30 seconds and then response time 60 seconds. Okay, and remember, when you have to speak during 1 minute, it's a long conversation. Let's listen.
City University's choir is changing its performance schedule next year. Read an article about it in the student newspaper. You will have 50 seconds to read the article. Begin reading now.
Okay, so the announcer says you will have 50 seconds to read the article.
City
Begin
University's
reading now.
choir.
Okay, this is the article. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 50 seconds to read it. Please start reading now.
Oh, I got it.
if you were in the test, taking the test, okay, this is exactly the period of time of 50 seconds, okay? This is exactly the time that you had to read the piece of text. Then, take a look.
Now, listen to two students discussing the article.
Jim, you're in the choir, right? What do you think about what they're doing next year? This article.
I really like it.
Yeah?
Yeah, the new director's right that it will motivate us.
How's that?
Well, some of the other schools are really good, so we'll really have to work hard to go up against them.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we don't rehearse more than once a week, but if we know we'd be competing with other schools, we probably rehearse more often and improve our singing a lot.
That's true. The more you practice, the better you get. So, what about what the article said about how this will help the program?
I hope it works. Right now, our program is pretty small, but we have some really talented people, and it would be great to attract even more people.
So, how will this plan help?
Well, if we go to these off-campus events and other people hear us and think we're really good, we might be able to get some new students interested in coming to this university, to be a part of our music program and perform in our choir concerts.
You're right. I hadn't really thought about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The man expresses his opinion about the change described in the article. Briefly summarize the change, then state his opinion about the change, and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion.
Okay, so you have to read, and then you have to listen. You paid attention that usually you have two people talking, but one only agrees, disagrees, say, and the other person is really the one who speaks a lot, okay? So in this case, in this specific case, you have to summarize, okay, and state your opinion about the change. Well, since you have 30 seconds to prepare, I really recommend you to write words that will make you remember, that will remind you, words to remind, okay? Just like as if these words were reminders to your brain to build the answer, okay? To construct, to operate the answer. Then we have a very quick summary here about it says here that lost system may affect the quality. I don't know if you're listening to me well, but it says that my computer, that the internet is not very good right now.
It's okay now.
It's okay? Okay.
Yeah.
So when you prepare your answer, you don't have time to do what I wrote here, okay? I'm showing you this, but because somehow I'm giving you inputs to teach your students. But the change is that the core at the city university will add off-campus competitions next year. The man agrees with the plan, okay? I wouldn't write all of this, okay? At off-campus, the man agrees. This is something that I would write in 30 seconds. He agrees that performing in competitions will motivate the core to improve because of it. He refers more and therefore get better. Okay, motivation core. He rehearse and get better. These were the words that I would write in 30 seconds while listening. He agrees that the off-campus events could help the program grow. More people would see the core, and that might interest new students, other people to come to the university. Okay, I would take events could help the program, and more people would come to the university. This group of words, for sure, would help me to build up my response. Then we have two types of responses, okay? And after that,
actually, the change.
Just wait a minute, please. We have two types of responses, and they are models, okay? Examples, they are not models, sorry. Examples of speaking integrated responses. After playing them, I'm gonna ask you to tell me if they are on level 1, 2, 3, or 4, okay?
Actually,
sorry, somebody said something?
No.
Nope, okay.
actually, the student liked that program. First of all, his opinion was in the other school, maybe it's good, and you can work to improve singing a lot. And additionally, a program he was talk about the his program. It was small, but if you go to campus and to singing and other students heard that, they will enjoy to come to this university. That's that's the another things. In my opinion, I agree with this student. That's improving singing a lot in his university, and the program is.
You know, it happened something very bad to him, okay? He didn't finish his answer. He didn't complete his answer. Well, complete answers are better evaluated than uncompleted answer. Piece of his response was not given, okay? I'm gonna play test taker number 2 so that you can compare.
There's a change in the organization of the choir schedule. The choir so far hosted only singing concerts on campus only, but from next year there will be competitive events held in other locations. Jim, a member of the choir, likes that. There are a few reasons for that. First of all, he thinks that by engaging in competitive events, they will get more rehearsals and will improve their singing in a better way than they've been doing so far. And it will also help their choir program because although there are some people who have talent, the choir itself and the program is small. But if they go around on different competitions, other people might see how good their choir is and might wish to join the choir. That way, the size of the choir will improve, and that is generally a good thing. And those are the reasons why Jim, a member of the choir, likes the changes.
Okay, we have 2 responses, 2 samples. Test taker number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is level 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Level 1, I guess.
You guess level 1.
I guess
other?
letter 2.
Level 2, okay, Gabriela. You know, but nobody said 3, nobody said 4. So, you know there are mistakes in his portion of conversation that will make you analyze him as 1 or 2. In fact, he is level 2. Okay, he is level 2. And the test taker number 2, we know that he's not level 1, and we know that he's not level 2. So he is 3 or 4. What do you think?
4.
4?
3.
3. Do we have an answer in the internet, in the YouTube?
Not at the moment. We are a little
Not
late
at the
about
moment.
the YouTube.
Yes. The YouTube is a little bit late. We are ahead somehow. Test taker number 2 is level 3. Okay. He speaks.
Oh, Isaias knows.
He speaks well, but there are lots of hesitation, okay? And for test taker, this test taker specifically, okay, he delivers.
Oh, the YouTube is guessing right. Paulo said number 1, and test taker number 1 is level 2. And Isaiah saying it's on fire on the chat. He's on fire.
Okay. I'm not on YouTube anymore. Anyway, test takers number 2, I can say something about him. I like his answer. Okay, I always have been analyzing his answer. His speaker, this particular speaker, and delivery is generally clear and well paced. Okay, but some words are mispronounced. Just like schedule and minor errors are noticeable, so that's why he's not the level 4 and the level 3 instead of 4. Well, we are going to the end of this workshop. Okay, the activities, just to mention for you all, that you have lots of activities that you can train train your students. Please, I think for example, Alex is going to have lots of students for sure, and he can use since he is a last year student at San Luis, he can use this very big number of activities with his students. He doesn't need to repeat a single activity. Okay, if he gives 10 classes, he has activities for 10 classes. And a very good thing is not to repeat, okay, the didactics from one class to another one. All the classes should be different activities, different methodologies. This makes you a very great teacher. You have to move your classes in a way that the student always looks at you and think, what he's going to do today? One day is the song, another day is the radio. Another day you'll take your students to the bakery where somebody speaks English, and then you ask them to talk to them in English. The other day you put a program on TV. The other day slips of papers so that they can build sentences. The other day songs and they have to complete. The other day songs and they have to organize the sentences. The other day songs and they have to retell those songs or that song in another way for phrasing. This is very important on TOEFL iBT. And the other day, he has to start writing a piece of writing, and then the other student continue, and then the other continue, and then the other finishes, okay, 4 paragraphs, enough on a TOEFL test. The other day, you take some examples of compositions with the mistakes. You can find this easily in the internet, and you ask them to correct and explain you why they corrected. The other day, they can answer a question on the mobile of his friend, and his friend will use the rubrics. You make copies. The material that you received is photocopyable, and you make a rubric for all the students, and then they analyze the answer and then give a score. And you, as a professor, as a teacher, you go there and see, oh, well, you analyze it very well. When he analyzes, he also pays attention to the mistakes, and so on and so forth. So the person who corrects learns more than the other, and everybody's gonna do this. You have a plenty of information, you have a plenty of activities, and come on, we are intelligent, so we can create activities for everything, okay? And it's not because you have 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 30 years of a profession, okay? You have to create every single day. Never is enough. Never, ever. This you're gonna do for sure, okay? And the TOEFL radar training and the scoring. This is important, and I want to tell you something because maybe your student will ask you about this, and I would like you to explain them clearly, okay? TOEFL radar training and scoring. Let's say like that, okay? You have 5 steps like this that I'm showing you on the slide. Apply intensive ETS training, daily calibration test, monitoring by scoring leader, analyze the results. Let's say the scoring processes at ETS are intentionally transparent. It has to be, okay? TOEFL iBT is the most important and academic test that we have in the world, so it has to be transparent. We want all score users and test takers to understand who scores the questions, responses, and how the responses are scored. Well, that's why all the processes are in place are to ensure to make you be sure about the highest quality. Okay. The raters, the people who will score with required qualification, they are choosing because they will either score the speaking section or the writing section, okay? Every rater has to pass either a speaking or a writing certification test to qualify him to score. So it's not, hey, I want to score. It's not like that, okay? They are calibrated every scoring sections that they will apply, okay? All the questions in the speaking, all the 4 questions in the speaking, okay? There are a minimum of 3 raters. 3 people will analyze to contribute for your individual score, okay? However, it may be possible for a difference rater to assign scores for every test question. TOEFL will require, let's say, as many as 6 different raters to score a test. A minimum of 3 and a maximum of 6. So this is very important. Besides that, you have that automated correction, and that will analyze linguistic partners of your response. So whenever your student asks you, do humans score? For sure, more than 1. A minimum of 3 and a maximum of 4. Okay. The next meeting, writing section, will be with Professor Adriane. Okay, she delivered the first one. I have to thank you all. If you have any questions, okay, please. If you need anything, let me know. My email is ecanela@etsglobal.org. Okay, it's on the first slide. I'm gonna put it right now here. And if you have any questions, please let me know right now, or you can write to Andressa so that she forwards the questions to me.
Okay, I'm waiting for that. Do we have something? Just thinking, a lot of thinking. Gabrielas, thanks a lot, and Johan, thanks.
Thank you for being there. Thank you for being there. Okay, thank you. This is very important to all of us.
You are very clear for them, so.
Alexa, thank you so much as well. Okay, and you are in a very good university. Okay, Uffman. I think we had a test center at Uffman. We don't have it anymore. I had gone. I had gone there, and I don't remember the name of the professor. Soraya. It's not Soraya. Something like a name like that. I like your city a lot. Okay, and Alex, the most wonderful thing that we have there. Yeah, you don't have it anymore. Maranhão is very good, but the best thing in Maranhão is arroz de cuchá, okay? That's perfect. Nothing in Maranhão is better than arroz de cuchá. Cuchá is such a good thing that everybody in the group, everybody that is watching my workshop here, okay? When you go to Maranhão, please eat arroz de cuchá. That is unbelievable, okay? But you're gonna say it's rice. Okay, just eat, and then you feel the flavor. Thank you a lot. Also, Gabriela, thank you. Okay, it was very good to have you here. Thank you all. Okay, thank you, Isaias. Okay, it was really a huge pleasure as well. And remember, if you all will be teachers, okay, this is a choice. We are not teachers because we can be doctors, or because we can be mechanic or whatever. I can be everything that I wanted to be. However, I chose to be teacher, and I have been doing this for 37 years, and I would choose everything, the same thing again, okay? And you're gonna have a marvelous career because you're gonna contribute with humans, okay? And we do need this nowadays. We do need to pass knowledge to people so that we can develop. In fact, as a teacher, I learned much more than I thought. But we have to pass knowledge. This is very important. Our country is with a lack of knowledge that sometimes we get afraid of that. Okay, so thank you all for being here. Thank you all for taking time from your day to be here with me. It was a pleasure, and let me know if you need anything, okay? Lots of thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. On behalf of GCUB directors, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks for your insights and data presented. It's always a delight to attend you all, and today I'm very pleased to be in your company. So bye, guys. It was a pleasure.
It's a huge pleasure. Bye-bye, lady. I forgot your name, but bye-bye.
Andressa.
Andy or
Bye-bye,
Andressa.
Bye-bye, Edson.
Bye-bye, Isaias. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.